I'm about to defend Bud Light, baby. Happy Red Friday. Welcome in. Thanks for joining us on KCMO, now on FM at 95.7. So I've seen a lot of people calling the UFC sellouts. You know, Dana White, The Ultimate Fighting. I'm not a big fan of it. You know, I don't really like watching people get their heads blasted in for fun. If I wanted that, I mean, I kind of do that every day, 5 days a week anyway, talking about what we talk about. So I don't need more of it in my spare time on the weekends. But they signed a massive deal with UFC and Bud Light. And it became the biggest sponsorship deal in UFC history. The terms have not been disclosed, but you got to believe it's for hundreds of millions of dollars. UFC is a fast-growing sport. It's very popular. And Bud Light is now the official beer of UFC. And a lot of people are criticizing Dana White, who is, you know, a conservative guy. I don't know how he votes, but just in terms of, you know, what he says, what he talks about, capitalist. He's had, you know, Trump out at events. I mean, those are his people. And people are calling him a sellout for allowing Bud Light to be his big beer sponsor. And I'm sitting here and I'm saying, no. It's the other way around. You're missing the point. Bud Light sold out. And I will defend them for selling out. Bud Light has been in a malaise for the better part of 7 months now, ever since they thought that what their consumer base really wanted was a transgender influencer drinking beer and pretending that they don't know what March Madness is, going back to Dylan Mulvaney in April. Of course, the backlash has been unlike anything we've seen in modern culture, where their sales literally have gone down 25 to 30% year over year, and there's no end in sight to things turning around. I mean, I was at the Chiefs game 2 weeks ago. A guy in front of me had a Coors Light, and I'm not drinking Bud product at games anymore, but it's hard to find non-Bud product. So I'm like, where'd you get that Coors Light? And he tells me where to go. And he goes, I'm not drinking that crap anymore. And I'm like, yeah, me too, brother. So the point being, they have destroyed their brand overnight. But they've got to figure out how to get their core consumer back. So despite the fact that they were doing all these, you know, dopey social media influencer endorsement deals that were in no way connecting with their core consumer, and their core consumer flipped them the double middle finger the last 2 months, and they've seen their brand get completely destroyed, they realize who their base is. And they have accepted who their base is. And they are trying to get that base back. I'm not here to give Dana White or UFC a hard time at all. It's capitalism. They're taking the money. If there's any sellout in this story, it's Bud Light. They sold out. And I'm sure that it eats away at the hoity-toity, overeducated clowns at the ad agency in New York or L.A. who are like, oh, my God, I can't believe we're going to give all this money to Dana White. He likes Trump and stuff. And, oh, gosh, why are we doing this? They realize they have to. And I guarantee you it burns them up inside that they have probably signed a 9-figure deal with UFC. But they did it because they realize it's good business. And they realized after a painful 7 months who their consumer actually is. And in business, the second you forget who your core consumer is the moment you're dead. You don't have to necessarily like it, but you know what? You got to do it. And if you don't like it, go work somewhere else. That's the beauty of America. So I'm here to defend Bud Light for the first time in who knows how long, John.
Good thing Alyssa Heinerschneid got him away from that fratty humor.
That's right. Yeah. The ad agency lady who went viral back in the spring for being like, we don't want to be with
marketing there, right?
Frat bros anymore.
Yeah.
We want to be, we got to get away from that imagery.
Now, I will pay if Dylan Mulvaney's getting in the ring. I'll watch that one for sure. I don't think he's stepping up, though.
I don't think he is either.
He can fight either way. However he wants to relate, they've got competition for him.
That's exactly right.
Normalize the bulge.
Oh, no.
We are normalizing the bulge.
Not on a Friday, Mark, please. Please, not on a Friday. I don't need that maybe I do need that on a Friday. You know, it's been a tough week on the news front. So maybe that's what I need more of on a Friday. But I am just here to share with you the defense of Bud Light. 913-408-7957. On the text line, Pete, the whole Bud Light boycott is so silly. I never drank Bud Light because it sucks. Well,
there you go.
Okay, fine. I mean, you know, as I talked about for months, I was always a Coors Light guy, so I wasn't really canceling anything when I stopped drinking the Bud Light. For me, it was more about if I'm going to a ball game where all these ballparks are exclusively Bud Light, that's where it became a little bit harder and where the boycott on my end had to kick in. But hey, they got to get back to their core audience, whether it was signing Travis Kelce, of course, to that commercial. And somebody sent this in on the text line, 913-408-7957. It's a picture from their local Price Chopper, and it's a stack of cases of Bud Light, and it's got like a Travis Kelce blow-up doll on top of the case of Bud Light.
It's a bobblehead.
Oh, it's a bobblehead?
Yeah, it's a giant bobblehead. I've seen it at Johnny's in Olathe.
Oh, have you really?
It's awesome.
It's an oversized Travis Kelce bobblehead. Well, as far as I can tell, based on this guy's picture, it's not helping sell because there's one case missing from the entire stack.
When the air conditioning blows, his head moves slightly.
Oh, gosh, that's great. 913-408-7957. Let's welcome you in on a Red Friday. Are you defending Bud Light with me? It's been a long time since I've said such words, but here we are. Alfonso is in Blue Springs. What's up, Alfonso?
Before we defend Bud Light, let me ask you a question. Does this give them exclusive rights to light beer in the competitions?
As I understand it, yes. They are now the official beer of UFC. So I would imagine that means if you go to a UFC match, it will only be Anheuser-Busch brands.
So basically, this is a smack in the face. People saying, screw you, I got the money, and now you're going to drink what I want you to drink, in reality, to me.
Yeah, I mean, that's true. Or you can choose to not drink.
Yeah, but who's going to go to a drink? Who's going to go and not drink? Come on.
Clearly not you, Alfonso. Clearly not you, brother.
Appreciate the call, man.
All right. Well, hey, it's kind of like you go to Arrowhead. You go to Arrowhead, and they have non-Bud products, but you got to search long and hard for it. You know, you got to sometimes walk around the stadium a little bit. What's it worth to you? That's really what it comes down to. And that's how it may be at UFC. We don't have all the exact terms. They weren't disclosed, but we know that they're going to be the official beer of UFC. So that tells me if I'm spending that kind of money, well, guess what? I better be, if not the only beer sold at events, 90% of the beer better be Anheuser-Busch. Joe's in Liberty. What's up, Joe? Good morning.
How you doing this morning?
I'm well, Joe. What's happening?
I was just thinking that one way that Bud Light could redeem itself is to bring back Spuds McKenzie and have him swear off Dylan Mulvaney in a commercial.
Who was the first name?
Spuds McKenzie.
Oh, jeez. All right, Joe. That's what you think. He cut out there for a second.
Yeah. Spuds is going back a ways, I think.
He's like Bill O'Reilly when he's showing his age there on the morning updates at 7:15. Okay, well, there you go. Oh, boy. I don't know if we can give Dana White any ideas like that, but such is life. Text line 913-408-7957. This is how you join us on KCMO Talk Radio, now on 95.7 FM.